Kenda, you've talked about some of the challenges with youth, but you also say this is not just a challenge for youth; it's a challenge for adults and parents. Can you maybe share what you would some of your insights around parents who are concerned about their youth?
Well, what we know is that this is not the challenges of faith are not limited to young people. We know that these are challenges that adults have as well, parents have as well, and that this is an intergenerational issue. So that many of the things that are true for young people in terms of their faith formation are also true of the parents who are trying to form them, right? We had a conversation at one of our breaks where a young man named Brian was talking to us about parents' cosmic lack of confidence, or lack of confidence in the cosmos, basically. And I think what he meant by that was they were going through the motions of their faith, and they were going through the surface understanding, and they wanted to believe this on behalf of their kids. But when it came right down to it, they believed, but they didn't really believe that it was going to matter, or that if they prayed, anything was going to really happen. And the way I wanted to parse that was this: what I think parents and adults have trouble with, maybe not so much believing, but trusting. I think what's broken down is trust. We might believe in the way that our culture talks about believing as a cognitive thing, or we might not. But what the crisis is the trust. We don't trust that it's going to make a difference. We don't trust that the relationship is going to be there. So, if I say that I believe in the sense that I believe in you, it means I trust that you are going to come through for me. That's believing in you, as opposed to just believing you.
Right.
And that is a deeper kind of believing in, when somebody believes in you. And that's the kind of trust, the kind of believing in, that is the believing in of faith. And we might believe these tenets of our faith in a way that we can say yes when it comes to confirmation, yes when it comes to reciting things in church, but believing in that this faith, this God is going to come through for me, and it's going to come through for my children. That's the confidence that's broken down. And that kind of confidence comes through, I think, in time when it's tested, in times of trial, when it is maybe encountered in liminal kinds of contexts, and when it is experienced in moments of deep community. And what's interesting about those contexts is those are the exact contexts that we know from research that are when young people will be willing to say they have encountered God. Even young people who don't have a religious background are willing to say something holy happened in times of trial, in times of liminality, in times of deep and intense community. So if we're going to forge trust as opposed to just get a bunch of beliefs pounded into people, it means we're going to need to engage young people, and maybe communities of faith generally, we're going to need to be there for them in times of trial. We're going to need to foster these liminal experiences where they create these in-between communities that are somehow third spaces between where they are hanging out normally and where they have profound communal experiences. That's where the holy seems to be most palpable. So if we're going to talk about places where they sense God's movement towards them, those seem to be reliable spaces that is possible to perceive. I think you can hang a ministry on that.